go. Hey everyone, my name is Chrissy and I am a mother of 4 and I have 3 that live in my home. And I just recently turned 40, right? It's crazy to believe that 40 years of my life have already passed, but I say that because in introducing myself, I have the crazy idea of starting a small business with 3 children and a husband, and I work a part-time job. So it's insane, but I wanted to document this journey because I feel like there are so many other moms out there that have passions, that have things they want to accomplish, and they just get so bogged down with the daily living and taking care of the house and all the things that you feel like you can't pursue your dreams or your goals or your passions. And that's what I'm hoping this channel will be all about. Not only will it be documenting this journey for myself, but also hopefully to inspire other women that are like me in the time of life in which they're in. So here we go. Let me explain a little bit more. First of all, we're going to be raw and transparent on this channel. This is a look after I've had a massage. I have no makeup on. My hair is oily. I actually had a birthday. My birthday was last month, and as a present, I received a gift certificate to get a full body massage. So I took advantage of that this morning. Also, a couple other things to know about me is I do have my 2-year-old, and she is with me majority of the week. However, on Wednesdays she is with a babysitter, so I have Wednesdays to pretty much do whatever I like, catch up on things, do household chores, or spend the day to myself, or in this case I'm spending it on building this brand and building this business. And it's so nice just to have one day a week where other kids are at school and the baby is taken care of, and I can just kind of focus on whatever I would like to focus on. So yeah, Wednesdays will probably be the only day that I can film, because every other day of the week I have a toddler running around, and it's too much, it's too crazy. As moms know, it's very loud in the house. Other things to know about me is, like I said, I just turned 40, and everyone talks about these eras that they're in, like I'm in my 40s era or whatever, but I'm also in a very nostalgic era. So leading up to my birthday, I had this growing passion of mine, and I was so focused on all these nostalgic things because, you're thinking about turning another decade old, and you just start thinking about all the memories from your past. And I was in and entering into my nostalgic era, and I just thought so much about my childhood and the things that I loved and the things that I was so passionate about back then, that this business idea just kind of sparked from there. So to give you a little more backstory about myself, to get to know me a little bit, I'm actually not new to having a small business. I've been an entrepreneur now for about 15 years of my life. I started off as a photographer. I had my own photography business. I did that for several years until I had children, and it's so easy to be a photographer before kids, but after kids, you just can't. It's not realistic. At least it wasn't for me. Skip ahead, I actually, after I had my daughter, who's now 13, I moved into more of a digital space. So a part of photography, you have to use programs like Photoshop, as an example, to edit your photos. And I really became to a point where I felt like I was mastering this program, and I decided that I wanted to move more towards digital products. It was such easy passive income. I ended up doing that for several years, and I really loved it. I loved it. And then I had my son. And when you add 2 kids into the mix, it just didn't, I just didn't have the time, particularly when he was a newborn. And I was actually still working a full-time job at that time too, while having an Etsy business. So I just had to shut the shop down and refocus back on my home life. Fast forward, a couple of years later, I actually was kind of given a small business. Not really given, it just kind of fell in my lap. I was looking for a mascot, a Minnie Mouse mascot for my daughter's birthday party. She had a birthday party coming up, and I was looking for a mascot, and I couldn't find anything in my area where people had a Minnie Mouse mascot that looked like Minnie Mouse. I mean, there's plenty of mascots out there, but they can be pretty rough around the edges and not even remotely look like the characters. So I did some searching online. I ended up finding, I think on Craigslist, somebody that had a Minnie Mouse mascot costume within 45 miles of my home. And I went and bought it, and I wore it to her party. And this is, of course, when social media is starting to expand too. Facebook was a big thing during this period of time. And all of a sudden, everybody started asking me to be Minnie Mouse at their kids' parties. And as a young mom, I thought, okay, well, here's something that I can do on the weekends. It's not really something I have to worry about throughout the week. I'm still working full time. Let's remember that. But it's something that I can give a couple hours to on a Saturday or a Sunday. So I started with Minnie Mouse, and I actually ended up investing back and adding Mickey Mouse. And then that was the summer Frozen came out that this business idea started. And people, you know, it was booming. People were asking me for Frozen characters. So I immediately purchased Olaf, and I hired a couple of college girls to play Elsa and Anna. And before I knew it, I ended up having like, I don't know, 10, 15 characters. It ranged from Marvel characters to Disney characters. I had about 10 to 12 core employees that would work for me. I ended up not being the one in the costume anymore, and I would just sort of manage the back office of things, the logistical things. It was such a successful idea. It was a huge business. Nobody else in the area was doing anything like what I was doing, and at least not in the look of the character that I was looking for. I found a great manufacturer that was, you know, still within the copywriting laws, making these mascots that would look so similar to the characters and dresses and things like that. So the business just boomed, and I was actually able to quit my full-time job and do that as a full-time income. I did that as a full-time income for a little over a year, and then found myself in quite of a pickle in life. My marriage didn't end up working out, and I had to go back to supporting myself with 2 kids. And as much as I loved the business, I loved it so much. I was so passionate about it. I loved every minute of it. I loved working with the young people that I had hired. It wasn't the right time for me, and I had to refocus back on my children and putting them first. And so I ended up selling that business to one of my employees, actually. And he took it and he ran with it, and it still continues to be successful today. It's still a running business, and it's still doing very well in our area. And I'm so thankful for that opportunity. I think it was the first time that I actually realized that I'm an entrepreneur at heart. This is now 3 businesses that I have started and ran with and grew, and they ended up being somewhat successful during those periods of time. And I just discovered about myself that I'm indeed an entrepreneur. Fast forward to now. It's been about 10 years since then, and I'm just now back into a point in my life where I can focus on my passions of being a small business owner again. And I'm so incredibly thankful for that. I'm so blessed with that. I have a new marriage that I've been in now for 4 years. I have a very supportive husband. So that is why I'm here today. Yes, I have a 2-year-old, and yes, I'm still a mother of the other 2, and I actually have a stepson who is an adult now. But you know what? If you are passionate about something, do it. Don't waste your time. You will find the time. And yes, it involves after the kids go to bed, me working on ideas or illustrations or posting to social medias. It's what you have to do. But get creative, and you can find ways in which to do it. I know that's not everybody's story, and if you're passionate about starting a small business, you may not be able to immediately begin because you just have so many obstacles in your way, and I totally get that. I hope that this channel will at least inspire you and remind myself that there will be challenges. Just continue to work towards at your pace and in your time what you can achieve and what you can achieve and what you can't achieve at the moment, and work towards goals. Just set small goals for yourself, and you'll find so much joy in setting just the smallest little goal and reaching up to an overall goal that you have for yourself. So here I am. Here we are. It is October of 2025, and I now have a new Etsy shop. I'm not so excited about Etsy because it's so cluttered now compared to 15 years ago. It is so many more businesses, like big store businesses now on this, what should be just a small marketplace, is now grown so much in the last 15 years. And I'm not knocking Etsy. Etsy's got a great platform. It's a wonderful marketplace. It's already got so many established search engines and visibility factors that you just can't find anywhere else. Everybody goes to Etsy to look for handmade goods or unique things, and that's what I love about Etsy, and it's one of the reasons why I'm starting there again. It's not my goal to end up only having an Etsy store. I would love to have my own website. I would love to pursue just sort of building my own brand, and most of that has to be done by sharing on social media, and so that's where I'm starting today. I am now about 22 days exactly into opening my Etsy shop, and I'll leave the links for that down below if you're just curious on what a new shop looks like. It's very bare, it's very generic, I'm so transparent here and raw with what the experiences of a new small business owner, but that's my little corner of the marketplace, and that's exactly where it should be right now. I only have maybe 11 or 12 listings up right now, and honestly, most of those are print on demand, and that's just what it is for now. As I grow, I'll be able to create more things from home, and I'll be able to really get into the goals that I have for myself and printing and doing things at home, which is ultimately what I would love to do. But you have to start somewhere, and so that's where I'm starting. Let's talk about my niche real quick. So, like I said, I'm entering into my nostalgia era. I'm 40 now. I was an 80s baby, but a 90s kid and a 2000s teenager. So, thinking about my life, the 90s and early 2000s were really my very first memories of my life. And when I was reflecting coming up to my birthday, and I just thought about all the good memories that I've had, and I'm so blessed to have had such a wonderful childhood. My parents are amazing. They still are. I have so many fond memories of just tiny little details, from the toys I played with to the snacks that I loved to the coming of age with the internet. I mean, I was that kid. I was there when AOL was created, and I was alive before Google. Many people have no idea what that's like. But yeah, I was there pre-internet. I was here and living in life, and all of these memories just flood back to me. And the very first product that I thought of that I actually created and now have on my store is thinking about dial-up internet. I was having a fun conversation one day with someone, and I was just talking about how slow the internet used to be. You know, kids these days, they stream immediately. They're on Google within like 0.01 seconds and finding the answer to something. That was not us kids in the 90s. And I just thought about how slow AOL used to be, and that forever long wait of sitting there hearing that terrible noise while the modem was connecting, and waiting for it to pop up on the screen that you were officially online. And it was so exciting but boring, waiting. And so I was just thinking back on that memory and having a nostalgic moment, and I immediately thought of an idea. What if I create a sticker that has just an old school looking computer screen on it, and just that same image you used to see on your old school computer screen, where we were waiting for the three little windows and that person to go from one window to the second window to the middle to the end window, to saying you were connected and online. And during that process, just remembering the sound that you heard if you were an American sitting there in front of your computer waiting to get on. And that was just the first design idea that came into my head. I ran with it, I drew it, I created it. I started off with a sticker. Now I have a couple of products that surround that one image, but that's where it began. And that's really all you have to do to begin with an idea, to begin with a business idea. You just have to think of a niche that you are passionate about. If you're not passionate about it, it's not going to go well. It's not going to keep you interested day in and day out. And you're likely just to give up on the idea. Finding a niche market is so important. And I'm so hopeful that my ideas that I have in this nostalgic era that I'm in will reach other people. Because I know so many of us, women especially, but men as well, if you're in like the middle of your life, you are definitely reflecting on better days and when you were a kid. And you probably have children yourself, and you are remembering when times were a little more simplistic, but and sharing those memories with your kids, it just brings back so many good feelings for me. And I'm hoping that the products that I create will also bring good vibes and good comfort to your life. So that's where I am. That's where I'm starting. I don't want to make this video too long, and it's going to be completely raw and unedited, but hey, it's who I am. My goal for this channel is to post once a week starting, and I just want to vlog my experience and growth of this business. I think it will be so important for me to reflect back and to see how far I've come. I'm starting off on an iPhone camera and literally no filters on my face and a very bare room. I have a very small office set up right now, but that's okay. That's where it should start. And hopefully over time, my passion will continue to grow and I'll be able to grow this business in the pace that I can and just enjoy the aspects of being an entrepreneur again. It's a feeling like none other. It definitely takes time, and I don't even have a sale yet. So fine with that. I don't expect a sale any day soon. I'm still growing, still building my brand and building my ideas and building my products, and that's exactly where I want to be. So yeah, I will leave a link in the description for my Etsy store and social medias. Feel free to follow me along. I'd love for you to join this journey with me. If you're in your nostalgic era too, join me, because I would love to hear your memories in order to create new products, new ideas, things that I didn't even think of or remember myself. Maybe this can become a community. More importantly, I hope that it inspires moms of any age to continue to pursue your passions. Don't let motherhood bog you down. Motherhood is exhausting. My 2-year-old still doesn't sleep through the night, but it's okay. I find so much energy in pursuing this passion, and that's exciting to me. So I hope you'll join me for my journey. Follow along if you'd like to see my progress and how that's going to go. If this is at all interesting to you, subscribe, and I look forward to growing together and hopefully building a little nostalgic community. So yeah, thanks for listening. If you're still here at the end of the video, maybe post down in the comments of an emoji that reminds you of your childhood, and I will talk to you next week.